Sally Forth Paladins, and welcome back to another episode of Starfleet Command. Orion Pirates. I'm Fleet Admiral Tarek of the battleship HMS Insouciant, as we continue our campaign against the Lyran Star Empire, and what I believe to be the last Lyran planet is currently neutral, so let's go jump on this before it flips back and, well, unfortunately undoes quite a bit of progress. So let us immediately throw ourselves into the final shipyard assault over the planet. Once we manage to complete this, we will own it, and I do believe that will be the last Lyran planet conquered. And they're gonna try and fight it pretty hard. They've brought out no less than 2 battleships already. There could be a third one hiding, but I really don't think that there is. So let us prepare for combat. We're being escorted today by, oh no, HMS Magnificent, which is a Q ship with 5 phasers. Against 2 BBXs. So this ought to be interesting. We do know that we can fight this and beat this. We've done it in the past. 2 battleships of their type, 2 Cave Lions, are not equal to 2 Monarch battleship or to a single Monarch battleship carrier. So I do anticipate being able to kill it. The question is, how much damage are we going to take along the way? Because it is still a pretty rough and ugly battle to have to fight. So we need to make sure that we are in tip-top fighting form. Let us reinforce the forward shield with all the additional power that we have. Electronic countermeasure is already building. Let's see how much of our shield budget we can steal, because we would like to get on top of this guy before he can actually pull anything off crazy. Because if we can nail him hard with all of our heavy weapons, then we might have a chance of being able to overwhelm him. Although that'll be an interesting thing to make happen. We will, of course, have to rely heavily on our fighters to take on one of them, probably, because after this initial pass through, we are going to be in a pretty big world of hurt. He's going maximum electronic countermeasure. Okay, so we're both going to be 2-2. Well, actually, not quite. If it doesn't go up to 6, then he's not going to get up to 2, and I may actually... I don't want to reduce it myself. A lot of fire going out from him already. He has the opens fire with all of his phaser X's. He has deployed his pseudo frigates. A couple of hits onto our forward shield from his disruptors, but nothing all that serious. We're going to deploy the fighters as of now, get them into a defensive position for us. That way they'll be available to both soak up fire and deal a ton of damage. We do kind of need to keep them alive, because if they get too much damage in this initial skirmish phase against this guy, then we're screwed, because we're going to need them as sort of our big stick against the other BBX. Alright, he's activated his ESG. Let's kill all the well, not all of it, but a lot of the forward momentum. Shut that off. You're not allowed to have it. All weapons fire. Point blank range. 208 damage. Beautiful. You, come home. You are wanted back home immediately. You are wanted back home. Really, we're calling everybody back. Let's return the entire fleet, because I'm very concerned about losing them. It's going to be very important for our victory in order to not actually take too much damage. We do have a fairly decent amount of forward shield energy already by virtue of going very, very slowly, and our fusion cannons not yet setting to recharge. They have a turn where they're shocked offline, where they're cooling down, that's the phrase. And during that period, they don't actually take any energy, which is very helpful if you're trying to preserve something. But they're about to, yeah, they're already starting to take some energy, I think. Yep, they are charging up, and we still have a fairly decent energy reserve because the phaser capacitor is fully charged. And how long until my fighters are available? All 4 are back, but it's going to take them a little while to actually get out. I want to slow down a bit because I want to delay the inevitable us coming together for as long as possible. I'd like to get my Hellbores online to be able to protect myself from this, but I'm not certain that's going to be able to happen. Yeah, all stop. All stop. As much power as you can to the forward shield. There goes our forward shield, but we can blitz down his, and all powered engines to pull on through. Phasers, keep firing as much as you can. Also fusion cannons, not quite on the wrong side to make that happen. We need to get around to this other side. There goes our other fusion cannon, getting a pretty decent hit on in. And our shields are still holding, although we need to start focusing our defensive efforts on taking these guys out. That way we don't have to worry about getting killed in relatively short order. Our aft shield did actually manage to hold up, so that's great. And our rear shield is now gone. How much longer until my fighter squadrons are ready and able to come back to me? Ooh, very shortly. We're about to have a fighter squadron defense once again, but I'd like to clear these guys out as soon as possible because the fighters are going to go for them first, which is very irritating, but true. Let's keep the repairs underway. Engines fixed. Fix the only currently dead phaser on the port side, which we kind of need. Alright, how long? I want the whole squadron to go out pretty much right on top of them. Wait for it. It's almost ready. Phasers. Pick them off. Bit by bit, I want to... Okay, good. So they're completely out, so the fighters will focus only him. So let's launch them underway. 1, 2, 3, And 4, that's every single one of our squadrons are away. We are going a little bit too fast for the amount of shield reinforcement that I'd like to get on board. Hellbores are ready. So we'll get a couple of shots on in there, weaken him a little bit. It does mean that we're not going to get super great defense against any sort of ESGs, but I don't think he has it ready just yet. Otherwise he would have used it by now. Hornets demonstrating that they are amazing in this game. Let's call them all back home. So we have all the repairs going on here. So 2 battleships. 2 cave line battleships, and we are but a single monarch. Yes, we had a single FTQ, but does that really count at the end of the day? I say no. Increase the speed of time. Let's just get everybody back on board. You need to turn back in. Thank you. Okay, wonderful. So we'll get them all patched up and repaired, and we'll be good. Let's all systems overload. So we are going to charge a whole ton of extra systems. Get the repairs underway. We did break another phaser and a little bit more damage, but hey, that was pretty well worth it. 2 cave lines and 3 star docks taken out for the price of, well, a couple of spare parts, really. So that was fairly decent. And, you know, a couple of fighters, but by bringing them back, they magically go back up to full power, which is always lovely. You are plasma torpedo docks. Okay, that's somewhat unfortunate. We're going to make sure that we deactivate all sort of defensive phasers, and we'll just rely on shield reinforcement. That way, our phasers won't suddenly discharge all of our shield reinforcement in one stupid maneuver. And by doing this, we can basically tank any amount of damage that he wants to throw at us. We just need to slow down very bit so that we're down to a speed where we have 20 forward shield defense. Lovely. Slow down a bit more. He's about to fire. All weapons select. Get on top of him. We're close enough. And it's dead. And on to the next one, bit by bit. We'll go to 1, and then the next one, and then the next one, and, well, it'll take a little while, but we'll get it done. And this will be the final conquering of this planet. And from here on, it's just going to be zipping around the area, just putting out little brush fires. So we really need to start thinking about what our next campaign's going to be. Let's see, who is currently up for the taking? Romulans, ISC, Gorn, and I think that's it, because the Federation started. We did a Marat campaign, we did a Lyran campaign, I believe. Yeah, it might be, Gorn, Romulan, or ISC. Klingons are not available because Klingons will be the season finale. They will be the last one that we do for Series 2, which I'm looking forward to, invading the Federation with the Klingons. So that's the other caveat, is we cannot be attacking the... actually, well, we could attack the Federation, but I tend to try and reserve that for the finale. I'd prefer not to. The Romulans cannot attack the Federation because the last one, that was their opponent. So the Romulans versus the Gorn, I suppose. Gorn versus... Well, we could do... Well, we can't do Lyrans again. Gorn versus Klingons, if we're willing to march across the Federation. Or Gorn versus ISC. Or did we do Gorn versus ISC the first time? I'm trying to remember. I'll have it all looked up and check into it later. But I do know it's those three plasma factions are the ones that are currently available to play through at the moment. So yeah, that'll be interesting. Let's see, ISC, I think we fought Gorn. We could do another invasion of the Lyran Star Empire, although we did just do one fairly recently. And by fairly recently, I mean last campaign. So, the Marak one versus the Romulans, where we traveled all around. We might be dogpiling the Romulans just a bit too much if we do that, though. Alright, final Stardock. You are mine. Oh, you're not dead. I didn't wait long enough, I suppose. There we go. That took it out. We were just a little bit too out of range, and so our fusion cannons didn't do nearly as much damage as they should have. But that'll be a tile. That will be the entirety of the tile. Right? Right, game? You're not going to mess with me on this one. Okay, good. So we have finally captured the planet of 2-2. There are only a random number of tiles left. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 tiles. And most of them ought to be fairly quick to fall, if we can just go on by the normal way in which this is done. Probably should have stopped home to get a little bit of repairs going on, but hey, there's a convoy ready to be undertaken, and so let's get ourselves on it. And we didn't quite spawn in the close location. Okay, so there is that. We are being escorted by HMS Vengeance, and the Vengeance is, it's an okay frigate. I mean, it's not anything amazing. He's only got 3 fusion cannons and 4 phaser X's, and his Gatling phaser is always a nice little sting, probably only aft firing, but still a wonderful... Oh, I didn't realize the Zenith was here. Hello, Zenith. Zenith, which X are you? You are an XCF, so he's a fast X-type cruiser, which doesn't have a whole heck of a lot of hellbores. He swaps them out for heavy phasers, and he's got 4 G2s? Thought he had more than that. Yeah, he's got 4 heavy phaser A's, 4 G2s, a single dual mount for a single dual mount, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fairly interesting mix. Not quite sure that I would want that mix personally. Let's make sure we overload the fusion cannons. They, of course, need to have extra power put into them in order to make them super effective. We need to scan this convoy. We've got freighters all around up here, but there must be... There's the light cruiser. That's the defender of the convoy that we have to cut our way through. Could launch fighters, but then we would lose fighters, and then we'd have to rebuy fighters, and that's expensive. But although we are sitting at 16,000 I was about to say Seables, but no. We're sitting at 16,000 prestige. We don't really need anything. Reinforce the forward shield just to have it done, and give me the power budget. Just steal most of it. And increase the speed time. We'll zip on in here as fast as we can. And basically just pick apart everything. We may not even need to get involved. It's a CRX-2. He is, triple missile. That won't get through the G-type phaser. So he's mostly screwed, although once the XEF gets involved, he's absolutely screwed. Oh, it looks like we are chasing this convoy. Let's just put off all power to the engines at this point, because we do want to catch up before they get away. It's very important that we actually eliminate everybody here. Are you coming back towards us? Because I'm going to tell you, I have the capability of one-shotting a battleship. Do you really want to test me? Although his point defense system is undeniably effective. He did wipe out the entirety of the fighter group from the Zenith, but hey, now he's dead. And so now we just move in and basically mess with everybody. We're going to come over here because we'll go basically from back to front on the convoy. Hello! Phasers flicking off everything. Phasers there. Next target would be you. Phasers are ready once again, so we're just going to come in here and bit by bit rip them apart. On to the last one? Well, not quite the last one. We're getting close to there. We do need to slow down to make sure our phaser capacitor actually charges on this one. All weapons. That'll do it. And you are the last one. As our nice little wolf pack comes sweeping on through. I don't think you're going to... Yeah, he's not going to survive. He's got a fast cruiser, a battleship, and a nice little SAR coming for him. There we go. Convoy dealt with in relatively quick time. Didn't even have to get involved with fighting the escort. It's always a nice one. And honestly, that escort wouldn't have stood a chance against us anyway. Would have been a total and easy annihilation battle. 196 prestige is a reward. Tile neutral. Pop down here, because we're going to take this little 5 group down here, because then we can curl up and just take the rest of it. It'll be the shortest path. Let's quickly go supplies. 150 plus 23. Fighters are all good, which is always the best thing when you come home if you're Hydrants. Are your fighters in great shape? They are? Okay, lovely. You did a good job. Max out that. Only had to spend 88 plus the amount of damage that we took. And continue. So we'll go down this one side and then up the other. And then we'll just sort of head on our way back. This will, of course, connect us with the rest. So we're going to go down here, up like this, and then up, around, up like so, and just sort of zigzag our way through. And eventually we shall win. Hopefully we can do it without ever having to come home. And hopefully it's not going to be too many convoy raids, because if I'm completely honest, convoy raids are a big ball. I much prefer to actually go on... Oh, hi. You're interesting. I would much prefer to go on missions where we... whatchamacallit, snap my fingers to try and figure it out. Patrols, of course. The best mission type ever in this game. It's the easiest to do. Just a straightforward duel instead of having to worry about multiple different kinds of objectives, which I suppose there's a place for that. And, you know, it does actually make the game a little bit more interesting. But we just did a convoy raid, and I like convoy raids to be sprinkled. For the type of ship that we are, that's kind of the problem. Alright, phasers, overload. Everything else could be fine. I'm basically going to walk up onto you and kill you in one shot, and you don't even stand a chance, and you don't even realize it. Like I said, once the Gatling phasers got involved, everything was over. Alright, let's just cruise on in here. We'll kill everybody. Could launch my fighters, but then I'd lose fighters, and I don't want to deal with that. That's the other reason. Because if I utilize my greatest assets in order to take this on, I'll lose them, and then I'll have to go take care of that. And I don't want to have to deal with that. So we'll just keep on trundling along, taking out everybody that we can. So we got 2 freighters right on top of each other for that little bit of extra defense as they plink away at our shields. Doing a fair amount, to be fair. Hi, I'm going to basically hit you with all of my phasers. I'm going to hit you with all my heavy weapons. And the heavy weapons were not enough, but the phasers were, which is kind of amusing to me. There we go. And we've got 3 more ships. So we'll just circle back in, nice and easy like. Slow down a bit. Oh, you're a former freighter. That's amusing. So I'll give you everything. Yep, that wasn't nearly enough for you to survive. Are you also former? We got multiple former freighters. It's like they're kind of giving up, isn't it? Instead of equipping these freighters to actually come fight us, they decided to instead set them up as purely transports. Trying to run away, are you? Well, we won't allow that. I will, of course, give him the full business. After all, he is technically a military vessel. There we go. And on to the last one. The LFNT, or whatever this is. And I think the phasers ought to be able to take him out. Perfect. And the shields did not care one bit. That's an entire convoy completely wiped out in basically no time at all. Which I suppose should be expected. 202 prestige is our reward, and a tile neutralized. We'll keep on heading south. Keep on blasting our way through the enemy defenses. They shall not stand against us. And ready up. And rock and roll. Increase the speed of time. Unless it's a battleship that I run into, I can basically probably run them over as we are now. So, do you have anything interesting on board? Really, I don't need the prestige, but if you have anything, we may as well steal it. Yeah, that's a light cruiser. He does have medical supplies, so let's go in here and steal what we can. We'll kick our speed up. It looks like we may be... nope. Even without overcharging anything, we can't quite make it up to maximum speed. Already being shot at from long range. That's mine. And, oh, you're an X-type ship. I should take you seriously then. Overload the forward shields then. Or the... Overload the phasers. Forward shield. Give me some reinforcements going down. All up and select. Lay into him, 132 damage because... So that reinforcement that we do is worth nearly 70 damage. Which is pretty absurd, isn't it? We'll actually prepare ourselves for actual combat. His ESG Lance right here, this forward weapon, which is absolutely devastating and is the quintessential thing that actually makes that ship kind of terrifying, that can't miss. So electronic warfare is more or less useless against it, and he can project that and aim that. So it works at the same ranges the ESG does, but he can direct which target it goes for, which I suppose is a pretty huge boon. So let's come around. How much shield do I got? I got no shield forward power at the moment, because I'm using all of it for speed, although we did take a pretty nice chunk out of him. So we'll get a nice little pass. Oh, wow, I did not quite expect him to die in that one pass. I was expecting him to stagger through it and continue on, and then we'd have to deal with the pseudo-frigates, but apparently not. So we stole the medical supplies, and then we killed the X-type destroyer. So 168 plus 90 for getting that medical supplies, and another tile taken. Drop into the black holes. Hello. An Enigma mission. So multiple Enigma missions in a row, which I suppose is somewhat fitting, as we're trying to hunt down the remainder of the Lyran Star Empire. Clearly, we would be running after any sensor ghost we manage to get our hands on, and so running into something like this, par for the course. Increase the speed, and do I bother? I don't think I need to, but you never quite know. Really don't need to. Unless he shows up something huge, I kind of don't need to. Let's be honest with ourselves. Oh, there you are. Didn't think that you were actually over there. I was expecting you from a different direction. And transport. Fusions to overload. Start to slow down. Electronic warfare, you may go. And reinforcements, you may set up as well. Full power. So he's a JGPPX. He is a pseudo-frigate tender. Who I think I can kill in one pass. Yes, I can. Lovely. Alright, now we have to turn back around and take out this frigate before we can do anything. Did I overload the phasers? I'm not really sure on that. No, those phasers were not overloaded. Oh, that's amusing. Would have been a little bit better if we had, just to remember that. But apparently, all's well is fine. So we'll just come up here and you're dead. We stole it, right? I mean, we got this stuff, I think. Fairly certain I did. Or then, maybe I forgot. That would not be exactly great if we managed to forget something important on there. We'll find out. If we got any bonus prestige from that, then we stole whatever was there. Maybe there was nothing there, but I thought I grabbed it. Maybe not. Okay, so we got 3 tiles done there, and heading up north now. Another Enigma mission. Wow. So we can't find hide nor hair of the enemy fleet. We're just chasing down ghosts in the middle of nowhere. In this case, it's a Marak vessel. That's rather interesting. As long as we're here, may as well set this up so that we have this going in advance, so that all we need to do is hit the overload button. I see you off in the distance. I don't know what you are, but I see you. You're not a light cruiser, probably an X-type ship. There's nothing on board, so we can basically ignore it. Oh no, there's no way that's an X-type ship. Fusion cannons, overload, phasers, overload. And are you another JGPP? No, you're an HCW XE, so you're a heavy war destroyer. A very interesting vessel in many regards. Start sapping more from the shield budget so I can run as fast as we can. Phases are overloaded. Hi, I think you're dead. Oh yes, very much so. Oh, nope, keep it at maximum time. We still got to destroy this thing. It is a full-on battle cruiser. That's pretty impressive that it just died. There we go. Another tile nabbed. Actually, I believe that leaves one more tile down here. And then we have to head way north. Haven't had any shield penetrations yet. Haven't used any fighters yet, so we're all good on that. No ammunition to waste. Yep. So that's going to do it for today's episode as we start to carve a swath through the remainder of the Empire. I'm fairly certain, if not next episode, the episode after that, we will have the entirety of the Lyran Star Empire destroyed. So put your thoughts. It's going to be ISC, Gorn, or Romulan are the choices. The rules are that the Romulans can't fight the Federation, and that nobody's allowed to fight the Lyrans for the next round just because we beat up on them last time. But other than that, these three, and if whatever they fought in the first series, way back when we were seasons 1 through 9, they can't fight that person again. And other than that, those are the restrictions. Which one of these three empires would you like to see us play as? Anyway, I've been Turek. If you like what you've been seeing, hit that like button and subscribe. If you want to see a notification every time I post one of these videos, press that little bell icon, leave a comment, and I will see you all in the next episode.